Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Great. Good morning, Rufai.
You're looking fab.
I have something to say, but I guess I'll say it after the show. I'm sure you both know what I'm talking about. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United States, billionaire Elon Musk denied reports that he spoke to Russian President Vladimir Putin before posting a Twitter poll with his suggestions for ending Russia's invasion of Ukraine. On Wednesday, Musk tweeted that he spoke to Putin only once, about 18 months ago, and the subject matter was space. Last week, the 51-year-old Tesla CEO asked his 107.7 million followers to vote on ways to resolve the war in Ukraine, which included a proposal to hold votes in parts of Ukraine occupied by Russia. In Nigeria, reactions trail the absence of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, at the unveiling ceremony of the party's Presidential Campaign Council. On Wednesday, in a post on Twitter, Peter Obi announced that he was attending the 52nd Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria conference while the unveiling ceremony was ongoing. In a video that has now gone viral, Peter Obi received a resounding applause when he was called on the stage at the ICANN event. Under sports, world's fastest female hurdler Tobiloba Amusan has been nominated for the 2022 Women's World Athlete of the Year. The 25-year-old, who won the 100 meters hurdles gold medal at both the World Athletics Championships and the 2022 Commonwealth Games, was nominated alongside 9 other athletes. The World Athletics on Wednesday said the list was compiled by an international panel of athletics experts comprising representatives from across the globe. Finally, under entertainment, 31 Benin bronzes from 3 museums in the United States that were stolen by the British in the late 19th century were returned to the federal government of Nigeria on Tuesday, October 11th. A bronze piece called the Head of a King, or Oba, that has been in the collection of the Rhode Island School of Design Museum for more than 70 years, was among the 31 artifacts transferred to the Nigerian National Collections during a ceremony at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C.
Let's begin what's trending. The spokesman of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Keyamo, on Wednesday announced that the long-awaited manifesto of the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been surgically reviewed by APC stakeholders and may soon be released. Keyamo made the announcement after a tripartite meeting between Bola Tinubu, the Progressive Governors Forum, and the Presidential Campaign Council. Well, when asked why the APC is yet to reach a decision on an appropriate date to kick off their campaign, Keyamo stated that the party is employing a calculative strategy to ensure that no stone is left unturned.
Our candidate is not a candidate that operates on his own. He tries to carry everybody along. And so he presented the draft to all the stakeholders today, the manifesto. We looked at it, and guess what? Almost all the stakeholders gave that draft more than 90% pass mark. A small committee has been set up again, and the committee is to just reduce the highlights, to reduce the document to major highlights, so that we want to sell the message in that manifesto to even the market woman, to the street trader, in the most simple language. Campaign is not like those who have done kick and start with their small vehicles.
Well, in another development, the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, on Wednesday mocked the APC flag bearer, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for not showing up at the 52nd Annual Accountants Conference in Abuja. The event was attended by various presidential candidates and their representatives who spoke on their agenda for the 2023 general election. Sowore, in a video that has now gone viral, berated Tinubu, who he says claimed to have schooled as an accounting guru in the United States, but boycotted such an important event. Well, let's take a listen to what he had to say before we come back for a discussion.
I, on my way here, made a promise not to talk about any other candidate but myself. So I want to thank the leadership of ICANN for demonstrating better judgment than the Nigerian Bar Association, who did not invite the rest of us. But having said that, I also want to congratulate those of you who made a bet today that one candidate will not show up. Congratulations, you won. And the candidate that did not show up, please listen to this, is supposed to be an accounting guru from Chicago State University. But he refused to show up at the most important accounting event in Nigeria today. Don't forget that I said I will not talk about other candidates. But the country Nigeria and the future of Nigeria cannot also continue to live or expect unsustainable candidates in 2023.
This whole conversation is all about optics. As long as we know, it's not against the Constitution for these candidates to attend events. But the fact remains that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been absent in a lot of the events. Well, I'll just take a quick tweet before I come to you, Rufai. This is from Harry, who wrote, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in the news. He coughs, it's news. He sleeps, it's news. He talks, it's news. He keeps quiet, it's news. His presence is news. He's absent, it's news. I guess, this is actually true because I guess he really has been doing a lot for people to talk about, especially not attending these type of, very important events. But as we know, he was attending another event that had to do with his party, and that was why he was absent. Peter Obi also was absent at the unveiling of his presidential campaign council, which also garnered a lot of different reactions. Rufai.
I mean, yeah, so he was settling his internal party crisis. Peter Obi, too, was absent at the presidential council meeting. But, the difference here is that the optics is we need presidential candidates to be available for sessions where they get to debate their ideas. ICANN, Association of Accountants in this country, is a big institution. It's a big body. And it should be there. And it's not nice when we have presidential candidates that are not there where they need to, debate with the corporate society. Just like at the LCCI event, he wasn't there, he sent his rep. Just like at the, event, the MBA event, he wasn't there, he sent his rep. Things like that leave so much to be desired. We need presidential candidates that will try as much as possible to be there on day one to talk about the issues that concern a lot of Nigerians. So please, going forward, presidential candidates must take Nigerians seriously. They must attend debates. They must attend forums like this by professional bodies. They must attend peace signings. It's really important. Because you see, the problem is we don't hear their ideas enough before they become president. And the big rallies they have, they don't really take out those rallies to explain their ideas. People must be able to interrogate them. And now that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is back home, I hope he will attend other engagements like that. Secondly, I'm happy that the APC said the manifesto is done with. We can't wait to see it. Festus Keyamo said they've looked through it, we can't wait to see it. But I will ask, please, the manifesto should not just be about intentions. Also, political parties should learn to write consequences and how they will go about it. Because what I see from most of the manifestos are just intentions. You will do this, how? You will do that, how? We should be able to see a method to it. I remember then when you do mathematics and they say show your workings. You give you marks for method. It's called method mark, MM. We should be able to see the method to how they will achieve their plans and objectives. So I'm looking forward to that manifesto. And he said he want the market women to read it. I think the quickest way for these political parties and all of them to do, if they can get from this advice, is that at least they should publish the manifesto in pidgin English and other languages across Nigeria where they have diaspora. Yes, so that people in the grassroots can be able to listen to it. Pidgin English and other languages across Nigeria. Because when you look at it pervasively, people also speak other languages. But, you know, the second lingua franca of some sort is Pidgin English. Most Nigerians speak and they can understand Pidgin English. So put it out there in Pidgin English, let them be able to understand. But once it comes out officially, definitely you are sure that we'll come here and ask the House and House. But please, presidential candidates, attend all these things so that let's hear you debate your ideas.
Right, Dr. Bati.
Okay, number one. First, let's commend the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria that organized the event, 52nd Annual Conference of ICANN, and invited presidential candidates. And Sowore made a point that when the Nigerian Bar Association organizes its own conference, it excludes certain persons. I think the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry also did not invite everybody. But in this case, we saw more candidates. The candidate of the APGA, Alliance for Progressive, the Grand Progressive Alliance APGA, you know, Justice Philip Imadi was mentioned as having been there. The candidate of the Accord Party, Mr. Christopher Inumone, you know, was also said to have been there. Okay, Atiku was not there, the candidate of the PDP, but he sent his running mate, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, who represented him. Now, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso was also not there, but he sent his running mate. Right. I think the big issue about the APC is that, one, the APC did not even show up at all, because, as you suggested, both Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and former Governor Kashim Shettima, they were attending a meeting at the Transcorp Hilton. But as a platform, you know, our argument is that, look, this should be inclusive. Nobody should be excluded. And so that, you know, people have the opportunity to interact with these persons who want to lead Nigeria. Now, the other issue about manifesto, which you brought up, Festus Keyamo said, oh, the manifesto is almost ready and all of that. Yes, it's good to have a roadmap, ideas, concrete ideas about what you want to do. But the thing to add to the point about the manifesto is that these manifestos should not just be something put together by a committee and published and, you know, advertised on all platforms and in all ways. The candidates themselves must commit the manifesto to heart and know the content. And that is why they are showing up to, you know, negotiate, to tell Nigerians what covenant they are proposing is important. Because you recall, in 2019, the 2019 election, there were many candidates who proposed all kinds of plans and issues and all of that. But at the end of the day, it was obvious that even the candidates themselves did not know the content of the manifesto that they were distributing all over the place. Hence, we have had a situation in this country whereby a government will be in power and the government will say, no, I never said that. The candidate will say, when did I say that? I didn't say it. Yes. So it's not the ideas of some committee members that we are interested in. It's for the candidate, whoever emerges as president of Nigeria, to have taken ownership of those concrete ideas. Third point. I think, to further congratulate ICANN, I think some ideas came out of that conference yesterday. Sowore drew attention to how the 2023 proposed budget is a violation of Section 12, subsection 1 of the Fiscal Responsibility Act, which sets a threshold for deficits, which we have exceeded again and again. 2, Mr. Peter Obi talked about corruption and how he would deal with it. Okay, if he is given the chance to lead Nigeria. Senator Ifeanyi Okowa talked about equipping the security agencies. He spoke about state policing, which are very important contributions. So those ideas are something with which you can engage them better, so that this campaign is about issues.
On another story, the presidential candidate of the new Nigerian People's Party, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, on Wednesday inaugurated the party's campaign office in Lagos. The event, which was held at Ikorodu, was witnessed by a large crowd of supporters. The NNPP flag-bearer is known to have a massive following known as the Kwankwaso movement, a support base that follows his campaign trail. Well, on October 6th, the party commissioned offices in several local government areas in Akwa Ibom State. The ceremony witnessed a huge turnout of party supporters across the state. Last week, I also reported a massive turnout in Kano State. I mean, you know, we're seeing these, it's campaign season, isn't it?
All political parties have their strong support base. You can't deny the fact that Kwankwaso doesn't have his own movement and support base. Peter Obi doesn't have his own movement. Tinubu doesn't have his own movement. Peter Obi, Tinubu, Atiku, Kwankwaso, all the other guys have their own movements. You know, Sowore too, if he's in there, he too has got his own crowd. You know, white people, everybody has got their own crowd. What is most important? Nigerians should vote on the issues. All
right, we shall take our final story. The University of Ibadan has responded to a video making the rounds on social media, which captured the moment a lecturer accosted a female student using a skateboard. Well, in the video, the lecturer forcefully asked the student to hand over her skateboard and report herself to school security because skateboards are a danger to her life and that of other motorists. Well, let's take a quick look at this video before we come back for a discussion.
They will tell you, go and meet them there.
Daddy, I said I was blaming.
Please, stop all this rubbish. Stop all this rubbish. You are bringing me in bad light.
I know what I'm doing.
Just leave it. Authority
Sir, can we have a conversation?
I can't have a conversation with you. The only conversation I can have is give me this and meet me at the security office.
But can you please?
No.
I'm okay. Imagine if no. I'm willing to follow you to security because I know what I'm doing.
Give it to me and follow me to security. I don't want to rough-handle you.
Why would you rough-handle me? I haven't.
Give it to me. You are disobeying. Give it to me.
Can I?
You can't say anything.
But why?
You can't.
Can we just have a conversation?
We can't.
Yeah, I mean.
You are irresponsible as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you know, the university has responded that skateboards are illegal and they are a danger, but I thought that it was quite aggressive for the professor. I believe his name is A.O. Woods, a professor of
Professor of chemistry.
Professor of chemistry, to have accosted a female student in the manner in which he did. I thought it was completely unnecessary.
Well, every institution has its own rules. In the statement put out by the registrar and secretary to the council of the University of Ibadan, skating is not allowed on campus. Learning how to drive is not allowed on campus. But I imagine that if the rules are given out in terms of details, there are probably designated areas where if you want to skate, you can do so. The university has a sports center, right? And then, of course, if you want to drive, maybe there will be designated places. We're told that, the lady and the other gentleman, they were on their skateboards on Oduduwa Road, which is a major road, leading to the campus. And that this professor, the registrar of the university, is also defending Professor Woods. That Professor Woods, what he's trying to do is to protect lives, both the lives of the people on the skateboards and also the lives of motorists on campus at that particular time. He had been a member of the task force on Cervicom within the university. So he probably thinks that he has a responsibility to act, to intervene. Now, the statement by the registrar also warned that people should desist from promoting video, from taking video of activities on the campus. It's as follows. The university may have their own rules, and in any community, you are bound by the rules. However, I think the registrar saying that video, social media on campus, well, he or she is not in a position to determine that.
No.
We're in the age of social media.
Absolutely.
What you think you should not do, don't do it. Otherwise, you don't know who is somewhere with all these small phones recording the incident. So that's one lesson everybody should learn. Number two, why the university is in a position to defend Professor J.O. Woods, just looking at the video itself alone, I mean, there was a touch of harassment there. He was telling the lady, you are irresponsible. Don't let me rough-handle you. Is Professor Woods a member of a Togri unit Do they have a toddling unit on campus? Why will a professor be saying that you don't let me rough handle you? Was he going to get physical with her? So that's an indication of verbal violence.
Absolutely. Where
persons have violated, rules within the campus, there must be a procedure. And the professor could not, I thought I saw a part of it where he was touching the girl. I mean, he didn't have to touch her.
No.
Okay, so that's the only side of it. But as, for the university saying we have rules here, okay, that's fine. But in the future, there are lessons involved, for the university and also for Professor Woods, no matter how well-meaning he may be, because we're talking about the university. It's not as if this is a secondary school where you have corporal punishment in place.
Unnecessary. We're fine. Quickly.
Professor Woods didn't do well. You just harassed the students. What was the skating was against the rule. You could have told her to wait, then call authorities there, rather than pulling her yourself. You just harassed her. Look at his hands firmly gripped on her, was pulling her to where? Is that the kind of lecturers we have that teach our future ones? And the university too that says skating is against, yes, skating is against the road. But also, they can go ahead and build places for people to skate. Skating is an Olympic sport. It was put in the last Tokyo Olympics. Do you know that there are some skateboarders that earn up to $1 million in endorsements? Just imagine if we bring up new skateboarders and they start to earn millions of dollars for our forex. We can win Olympic medal in skateboarding. So you can't just, yes, straight, but I'm against it on the road because of safety and lives of people. But also, we can, like Dr. Abad said, maybe in the sports, we can put in a space for skateboarders to be able to exhibit. You never know, maybe that guy might be the next skateboarding champion in the Olympics.
Absolutely.
But there are better ways to treat issues. And it's sad that these are the kind of professors that are teaching our future ones. You are harassing
the statement says he's a distinguished professor
of chemistry. Professor of chemistry.
He should distinguish himself in treating people better.
Absolutely.
Simple. If he distinguishes himself, are we going to have that?
No.
I don't know professors winning awards that we're discussing.
Well, thank you all for your great analysis, as always. Well, that's all I have for you on what's trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.